Good morning. Today is Tuesday, August 26. This is Wake Up with KERA News, and I'm Andrew Garcia. The weather today is going to be mostly sunny. We'll have temperatures reaching the lower 90s. About 1 million people live in floodplains along the Trinity River. Coming up in just a bit, we'll hear how state planners are preparing for future floods. That's right after today's news. Texas lawmakers passed a routine bill this year making changes to the state's judicial system, but they're still updating it 2 special sessions later. KERA's Toluwani Osibamwo says that's because of a measure related to how Dallas and other counties erase criminal charges from people's records.
Current law only allows courts to expunge criminal charges from a person's record if they're involved in veterans or mental health court programs. The version of the bill that passed earlier this year would require criminal charges be expunged if they complete any pretrial intervention program. Governor Greg Abbott vetoed the bill because of that provision, and now Plano Representative Jeff Leach has authored a new version.
We've made a number of very simple changes to the bill. The heart of the bill remains.
The bill also creates new courts and changes state court procedures as needed. For KERA News, I'm Toluwani Osibamwo.
The Amon Carter Museum of American Art will soon have a new leader. Andrew Walker, who had led the Fort Worth Museum for the past 14 years, will step down next week. He led the museum through a major renovation in 2019 that expanded gallery space, updated the museum storage system, and established a library. He was also at the helm when controversy erupted last fall after the museum temporarily closed an exhibition that included a painting of 2 cowboys kissing. When the show was reopened, it had a mature content warning. The search for a new museum leader will begin soon. Walker's last day is August 31st. The deadly flooding in central Texas last month heightened concerns about the risk of flooding here in North Texas. As KERA's Pablo Arauz-Pena reports, 2 major flood planning projects along the Trinity River are top priorities in the state's new flood plan.
The water is low right now in the Trinity River in Dallas. It's puddled in a valley of grass and trees surrounded by levees and downtown skyscrapers in the backdrop. Cars zoom above on a nearby bridge. Ducks and cranes swim in the distance while cyclists and joggers make their laps around the water. Running south from Gainesville all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico, the Trinity is the most distinct body of water in North Texas. On a rainy day, this water can get as high as 30 or 40 feet.
The number one hazard that Dallas faces is flooding.
Travis Houston is Deputy Director of Emergency Management and Crisis Response for the city of Dallas. He says it's been a mild year, but the city saw some of the worst flooding in recent memory just a few years ago in 2022 when parts of Dallas got 14 to 16 inches of rain. It cost the city billions of dollars in damages.
An event like that is going to flood people's homes. It will cause problems in places where on a year like this year, they never see any sort of flooding issue.
The levees surrounding the river in Dallas keep it from overflowing into most neighborhoods in the city's core. For decades, they've been developed by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, but parts of the system still haven't been built. About 1 million people live in the floodplain along the Trinity, according to planners. That includes neighborhoods in Dallas, Tarrant, Collin, and Denton counties, along with rural communities where the river runs towards the Gulf. Texas released its first statewide flood plan in 2024, outlining billions of dollars in needed flood mitigation projects. 2 proposed projects along the Trinity are top-ranked out of hundreds statewide, based on factors like the number of people and structures at risk. Glenn Klingenpeel is with the Trinity River Authority of Texas.
So it's really a comprehensive way of understanding what are the flood risks that the state faces, and then using a bottoms-up approach to find the best solutions to the flood risks that we identify.
The authority is sponsoring a $2 million project in partnership with the National Weather Service that would use data to forecast flooding along the Trinity Basin. Klingenpeel says that will help figure out where rainfall is going to happen, how long it could rain, and how intense it could be.
And so we need to develop some of the technology, and we need to develop some of the infrastructure. And I don't mean hard infrastructure, I mean the technological infrastructure, the information infrastructure to make this possible.
Another proposed project, sponsored by the Texas Nature Conservancy, would use nature-based solutions to make space for floodwater along the river. Justin Kozak is with the Nature Conservancy.
These are like big holes in the ground that we mow once a week, and they'll fill up with water and then they empty. Instead of that, you can use that as a constructed wetland. Still holds the same amount of water.
Kozak says the region along the upper Trinity River basin in North Texas is one of the most critical of any river system in the state when it comes to flood preparation because of the growing population and vital infrastructure.
We want to avoid the pain and suffering before it happens so that we can maintain these benefits there.
He added that the project could solve more than one problem, providing green space for recreation and storage for future water supply in case of drought.
That was KERA's Pablo Orez-Pena reporting. The Rangers lost against the Los Angeles Angels last night with a final score of 4-0. Both teams will play again, Game 2, tonight. Listen to a community's reflections on the land at the Oak Cliff Cultural Center. The Soil Box explores land as symbols of utopia, transformation, and memory. For more information and other things to do, visit our Go See DFW calendar at kera.org/calendar. Thanks for listening to Wake Up with KERA News. I'm your host, Andrew Garcia. The show is produced by Shardae White with editing support from Bekah Morr. For more news in your inbox, visit kera.org/wakeup. That's where you can subscribe to the Wake Up with KERA News newsletter. You'll get a more in-depth look into the news with plenty of good morning vibes. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at KERATX. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow.